Hi everybody, my name is Sam Pitzen. I'm going to tell you about the Bott family, my family from the Family Scenario Project. They're originally from India and they practice the Hindu religion. Their parents have been married for 10 years and the family immigrated to Columbus, Indiana 6 years ago. They have very limited extended family support as most of their family is back in India. The father, Taran, and the mother, Deva, have two daughters, Rupali, age 7, and Shreya, age 4. 5 years ago, they purchased a modest home before Shreya was born. They are considered to be in the upper middle to upper class socioeconomic status, and the parents have the goal to better be able to communicate in English, especially as their children get older. Taran is 36 years old and holds a master's degree in software engineering. He is currently a software engineer at Cummins and makes approximately $81,000 per year. This is a salary that I found at Glassdoor.com about salaries for software engineers in Indianapolis. Deva is 35 years old. She is college educated and is a registered nurse at Columbus Regional Health Hospital. She makes approximately $63,000 per year, also a salary found at Glassdoor.com. Rupali is age 7. She recently started second grade and she excels academically. She loves to read and play games on her tablet when she is not in school. Her parents would love to see her become more active as she gets older. Shreya is 4 years old and she currently attends preschool. She recently started pre-K. Her hobbies include dramatic play and building with Legos, and she does have a speech delay which has made communication difficult. Some resources for this family moving forward are Ivy Tech Community College, as they offer an English for Speakers of Other Languages course to help the parents speak, listen, read, and write better in English, which will help with the communication. A Step Ahead is a place that offers occupational speech and physical therapy for children. This will help Shreya gain new skills in her speech. Empowering Kids Speech Therapy is another speech therapist in Columbus, Indiana. They use play-based therapy techniques to gain skills, and they help the parents learn techniques and individualize plans for each child. The Indian Association of Columbus brings people together who are of Indian descent. They celebrate different Indian cultural events and celebrations throughout the year. Columbus Parks and Recreation is a great resource for them to find different activities for their children to do, and as well as for themselves. The Parks and Recreation Department offers different sports for youths and adults, different recreational programs including youth theater and drumming classes. This will allow them to connect with others in the community and explore different events and hobbies for their children. The Hindu Society of Southern Indiana is located in Columbus, Indiana. They hold a variety of religious, educational, and cultural events throughout the year, which includes language classes, dance and music classes, regional festivals, and religious education classes. This will help them stay connected with their Hindu background and teach their daughters about the Hindu religion. Some childcare needs for the Bott family are that the parents work full-time and they usually work long hours. Rupali needs a school that's close to home, and she needs somewhere to go sometimes before and always after school until at least 5:30 p.m. Shreya needs a local quality preschool that is patient with her speech needs that's open from at least 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Rupali is 7 and she just started second grade at Parkside Elementary School. Parkside Elementary also offers eye care before and after school, which would help with some of their childcare needs. Shreya is 4 and has been attending daycare and preschool since she was 6 months old, with the exception of during the pandemic, which we'll discuss later. She currently attends Children's Inc. Learning Center and she just began pre-kindergarten. Some information about speech delays are the milestones that you should look for are at 3 months, a child should be cooing. At 6 months, they should have speech like babbling, giggling, and laughing. Around 1 year, they should be no longer babbling, will be able to wave by, reach to be picked up, shake their head no, and point to different objects. From 2 to 3 years, they should be able to discuss things that are not in the room, talk during pretend play, put 3 words together, be understood by the family, and ask the question why. What you can do to understand speech delays is note the different milestones, work with others who know your child, like their child care providers, to determine if the developmental milestones are being met. If you are concerned, speak to your doctor and get a referral to a speech language pathologist if needed. Early intervention is key. Some resources for the family are Children's Inc. Learning Center. They are past the quality level 4 and they're nationally accredited. They have a research-based curriculum to plan for language and literacy, math, science and discovery, social studies, creative thinking, problem solving, creative hypothesis, and self-help skills. They offer classes for children ages 6 weeks through pre-kindergarten, and they also have after-school and out-of-school care for school-age children, which could help the family when Rupali is not in school, able to attend school. The Foundation for Youth also offers after-school programs. They offer programs such as the Boys and Girls Club, athletic programs like volleyball, basketball, Girls on the Run, and Trailblazers, Columbus Youth Camp, swim lessons, Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Like I said, they offer after-school care. They offer the FFY Summer of Exploration and fall and spring break care and activities for kindergarten through 6th grade. They also offer other events throughout the year for the children to attend. Another speech therapist would be at Columbus Regional Health. They work with not just speech therapy, but also audiology. They work with people of all ages in a variety of speech, voice, fluency, swallowing, language, or cognitive disorders, and they do evaluation and treatment of delayed speech, articulation disorder, autism, fluency or stuttering, and voice disorders. iCare is a resource for the family for Rupali. They provide before and after school care to students from pre-K to 6th grade at elementary schools in the BCSE system. They also provide break care that the children must be enrolled for separately than before and after school iCare. They provide healthy snacks, physical activity, enrichment activities, and homework support. Bartholomew County Public Library is another resource. They host events for children, including age-specific and family story times, art programs, yoga, and more. The Columbus Area Multi-Ethnic Organization is an extension of the Welcoming Community Initiative. There are 9 different ethnic associations that share their cultures and traditions, and the Indian Association of Columbus is a part of this organization. Spiritually, they do follow Hinduism. Hinduism is considered a way of life rather than just a religion. They worship the Brahman, which is a single deity, but they also recognize other gods and goddesses. Samsara is the continuous cycle of life, death, and reincarnation. Karma is the universal law of cause and effect, and the Atman is belief in the soul, that all living beings have a soul, and they're all part of the Supreme Soul. The goal is to achieve moksha, which is salvation, to end the cycle of rebirths and become part of the Supreme Soul. They revere living creatures, and the cow is sacred. Like many Hindus, the Bhatts are vegetarian. Economically, Taran and Deva immigrated 6 years ago with Rupali at just a year old for new job opportunities. They saved as much as they could in that first year to be able to purchase their home for their family. Some of their goals are to pay off their home early, save it for retirement, and put some money away to help their daughters with their future education. They try to only stick to purchasing the necessities with just a few desired objects and gifts. They are thinking about seeing a financial advisor to help with their financial goals. Politically, they lean Democratic, but they have not yet been able to vote due to their citizenship status. According to an Indian American Attitude Survey, which was conducted as an online survey between September 1st and 20th of the year 2020, it shows that Indian Americans are strongly attached to the Democratic Party. 72% of registered Indian Americans plan to vote for Joe Biden in the 2020 election, and 22% plan to vote for Donald Trump. The most important influences in their choice were the economy and healthcare. A large section of Indian Americans see the Republican Party as unwelcoming, and they have the perception that the party is intolerant of minorities and overly influenced by Christian evangelicalism. Technologically, they use it to stay connected with their family from India, so they can do Zoom or Skype calls and other video chatting. Other than for school or talking to their family, they do limit the television or computer time for their children to 1 hour per day. Tarn is a software engineer, so he tries to limit his television and computer time while at home so he is able to spend more time with his family. Deva typically saves her technology use for after her children's bedtime. The Indian culture is largely patriarchal, and the father makes most of the decisions. The mother is responsible for most childcare tasks. Children in the Indian culture are typically held more and spend less time in playpens and in cribs. They are trying to teach their children to respect elders and that any disrespect is heavily disciplined. They want to teach the importance of prayer and worship, respect, honesty, and independence. They want their children to focus on their education. Since both parents face spanking as children, they are working to find other disciplinary tactics for their children. Some different resources are the U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services. There is a field office in Indianapolis, and they help with anything related to legal status and citizenship in the United States. Family Service Inc. has a family life education program, which is a research-based program that helps parents and families with coping strategies for problems with parenting and more. This could help them find new strategies for discipline for their children other than spanking. Baird Private Wealth Management is a privately held, employee-owned company that focuses on private wealth management, asset management, and investment banking, capital markets, and private equity services. This could help the bots manage their money through budgeting, cutting non-essentials, and even investing some money for financial return. McAvoy Kemp Wealth Management is another wealth management place in Columbus that the bots may be able to use for financial planning for their future. The Bartholomew County Democratic Party is a place that they can learn more about the party's beliefs, learn about voting and the candidates, and find ways to get involved. Northside Pediatrics would be a great resource for the family because their children will need a pediatrician to go to. They are positively reviewed and have certified pediatricians for any healthcare needs. With the COVID-19 pandemic, there were some challenges that the family faced. As a software engineer, Taryn was able to work from home since he only needed a computer and internet access. Since it is an in-demand field, his workload was not affected much. However, like many nurses, David was still required to go to work at the hospital. Except for Taryn's work location, neither job was affected by the onset of COVID-19, and David actually ended up working more hours. Their finances remained stable. When COVID-19 caused schools and many places of employment to shut down, Taryn was able to work from home. Rupali began e-learning through Parkside Elementary, and Shreya also began staying home, though Children's Learning Center did not shut down. Taryn became the children's primary caretaker, which is different than how it was before. He spent more time working while Shreya napped and at night after the children's bedtime. The family chose to keep Rupali in online learning through the Columbus Virtual Pathway, and Shreya stayed home with Taryn during the 2020-2021 school year, with both returning to their schools in August of 2021. Taryn, Rupali, and Shreya stayed home most of the time, only going out for daily exercise, so walks or bike rides around the neighborhood, and they made sure to stay distant from anyone that they may have come across. They considered renting a separate apartment for David to stay in during the pandemic, but in order to keep some normalcy for their children, they decided to take other preventative measures, such as showering after outings or work before connecting with the family, staying home as much as possible outside of necessary outings, wearing masks whenever out of the house, and keeping hand sanitizer near entry doors around the house. For basic needs, the bots ordered most non-food essentials online and had them delivered. They made grocery orders online for quick pickup when needed. David took care of all of the out-of-the-house errands as she already needed to leave for work, and this was to limit Taryn, Rupali, and Shreya's exposure to others. They updated the girls' daily schedule and tried to keep it as consistent as possible to limit their stress and distractions. Some resources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It gives information about COVID-19 and updates on the spread and prevention. Bartholomew County Health Department is a local resource where they could find coronavirus information and updates, and they could also find local locations for vaccines and testing. The COVID-19 Community Task Force is a local resource that has data, news resources, testing sites, and vaccine sites, all the information related to COVID-19. Kroger Pickup is they could order groceries and pick them up at a designated time, and the pickup could be brought out to the car to limit their exposure to other shoppers. BCSU e-learning had information on e-learning, resources and contact information to help, and information for students and parents, Wi-Fi options, and frequently asked questions. The Columbus Virtual Pathway was an online education offered through BCSE. Licensed teachers assign work, help students, and have online classes. Students are expected to attend all classes, meetings, turn in assignments, and assessments. The Bott family has chosen to celebrate Shreya's graduation from speech therapy. She's come such a long way, and she's now caught up to an age-appropriate level of development with her speech. Tarn and Deva have learned many different techniques that will help Shreya continue on the path to great speech and articulation as she gets older. Since education is so important to the family, they are extremely thrilled that Shreya has done so well in her speech therapy. This should help her better communicate with her teachers and her friends, which would help with her education later in life. This will be the first get-together they've hosted or been to since the COVID-19 pandemic started. Due to recent spikes in COVID-19 numbers, they are a little bit worried about bringing people to their home, but they do feel that like this is a good reason to celebrate with close friends. The family will hold a small outdoor get-together with some close friends and will follow local COVID-19 protocols, including not having too many people at their home and trying to keep a safe distance from others not in their household. They are planning on ordering takeout from a local Indian restaurant to serve to all the attendees. They will also serve cupcakes from a local bakery to celebrate Shreya's accomplishment. Rupali is especially hoping for a bounce house or slip and slide to play on with her friends. There are many different resources in the community where they can rent bounce houses, slip and slides, a tent, tables, chairs, takeout, or even catering from local restaurants, and a couple different bakeries that are local that they can order their cupcakes from to celebrate.